Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us in this special media briefing conducted by Montgomery County Executive Marc Elrich regarding an update on the operations during this snow emergency. Joining the county executive is Assistant Chief Administrative Officer Dr. Earl Stoddard, Fire and Rescue Services Chief Corey Smetley, Department of Transportation Director Chris Conklin, Department of Montgomery County Police Department Chief Marc Yamada, Department of Health and Human Services Director, Dr. James Bridgers, and several other county officers who will be here to answer your questions. Mr. County Executive, good afternoon. Welcome, everyone.
Thank you all for joining us today. It's amazing how snowstorms bring everybody out for news briefings, so this is good to see everyone. Our Department of Transportation Storm Operations Center is currently open and coordinating the snow removal. We've had some road closures, namely Ridge Road. Power outages and water main breaks have been reported as well, although power outage numbers are still small. There's an active water main break on Wisconsin Avenue and Bethesda, and some lanes on 355 remain closed. With a storm like this, we may also get some down power lines and trees. Our area has not seen a snow like this in a while. And so I urge everybody to remain patient with our snow removal crews as they work their way throughout the county. They're going to focus on primary roads first, and then we'll move on to the residential streets. And you'll hear more details from the Department of Transportation in a few minutes. I encourage residents to stay off the roads unless absolutely necessary to allow our crews to clear them. Please check the county's online resources for updates on plowing through our winter storm portal at montgomerycountymd.gov/snow. And I would also encourage everyone to sign up for text alerts if you haven't done already via Montgomery County, via Alert Montgomery, sorry. Updates include information on county government and school status, weather alerts, infrastructure issues, and severe traffic issues. Some things to think about while people are at home today is, first of all, report water and gas outages directly to utility companies. Montgomery County will activate warming centers and shelters as needed. Our homeless shelters are open. Our HHS teams will speak more about that in depth shortly. And the Office of Emergency Management and Homeland Security is a great resource for information. They provide regular updates on X at Ready Montgomery. And on Facebook, just search for MCOEMHS. That's MCOEMHS. I'd like to give my team actually a chance to update everyone on what we're doing. Once everyone's had a chance to speak, I'll open it up for questions. So I will turn it over to you guys.
Well, good afternoon. This is Chris Conklin, Director of the Montgomery County Department of Transportation. We've been operating our Snow Operations Center here now for about 15 hours. We continue to treat primary and emergency routes at this time. We had hoped to move on to residential streets, but we continue to see continued snowfall, cold temperatures, roads becoming refrozen and recovered with fresh snow. So we are still in our emergency routes and primary routes phase. After the second band of snow comes through this evening, we hope to be able to move then into treating residential streets so that people can have easier access to the road network. We've also been actively working to clear the over 100 miles of sidewalk that the county is responsible for clearing and our bus stops. Our transit operation has continued through the storm, although we have had some diversions, some detours as a result, and we are suspending the operation of the flex service for the remainder of the day given the storm conditions. Again, I would like to thank our residents for staying off the roads. Traffic volumes on our streets have been light today, and that has helped our emergency response. And as the county executive noted, we have had some incidents of traffic signal failures, road closures as a result of vehicles running into traffic signal equipment. So again, if people do need to be on the road, I ask you to be as cautious as you can, to move slowly. If you're walking on our roads, to please be very careful. Stay as far to the right as you can if you are in the road. And remember that wet feet are better than an emergency room trip if you get run over in the street. So please try to use the sidewalks even if they are snow covered. It is safer for you than being in the street, even though it may be a little less pleasant. We hope to be able to get to a normal state of operation of our transportation system tomorrow, assuming that the storm stays on the trajectory it is and precipitation wraps up this evening. Happy to answer any questions after my colleagues have had a chance to speak.
Thank you, Director. Do you want to bounce it back to Dr. Stoddard?
Sure, I'll go through just a couple of things and get back over to Chief Smedley. So across the county, we've experienced 4 to 8 inches of snowfall as of about noon. Some areas are going to have local numbers that are a bit higher than that. It is still snowing actively in various parts of Montgomery County. The other big piece of something we're tracking today is there was a large water main break on Wisconsin Avenue. We do have residents without water, including a large multifamily apartment building with about 1,000 individuals living there. Our Department of Housing and Community Affairs, Health and Human Services, Permitting Services, and Emergency Management are all working actively to support the residents there. We are working also with WSSC on an ETA for them to get water restored to that area. So obviously that could continue to have lasting impacts throughout both the day and into the evening hours, depending on how long it takes to get that restored. Once we have that ETA, we'll have a better understanding of what we'll need to do with the residents who are impacted there. Over the rest of the day, obviously, we're going to have a lot of messaging, a lot of focus on enforcement of a few different things. Number one, our Office of Animal Services is enforcing Executive Regulation 1717. Extreme weather, cold temperatures. So please, if you have animals, make sure that you understand that they cannot be outside for extended periods of time in this unprotected, so that you're required to bring in your animals. The Office of Animal Services will be out enforcing that regulation. As a reminder, the best way to help our snow plows, as Director Conklin alluded to, is to keep the roadways cleared. For those who don't need to travel, please don't today. Also, another thing is, as the snow begins to end today, that kicks in the 24-hour requirement that you have for private road sidewalks to be cleared. But I would provide the reminder that if you're going to be out shoveling snow, be very careful and cognizant of hypothermia. If you start to experience any of the feelings of hypothermia, which include lightness of exhaustion, shivering, confusion, memory loss, slurred speech, please get inside and get warm immediately. Also be cognizant of, the snow is pretty light, but there are many inches of it. So be very cognizant of back injuries, as well as overstressing your heart if you're out shoveling in the cold. Finally, salt goes a long ways. Do not oversalt the properties. Obviously, that creates stormwater issues for us in the future and can, cause environmental degradation. So please be cognizant of that. And then the final thing I will note is, and I think this has been something that the fire department has also been pushing, if you have a furnace system in your house, please make sure the exhaust is cleared of snow from your furnace. Obviously, if you do not do so, that can cause dangerous levels of carbon monoxide to build up in your house, and that can be a significant risk as well. So I will pause there and proceed on to the next update.
Thank you, Dr. Stoddard. Chief Smedley, you're next.
Hello, everybody. This is Corey Smedley. I just want to kind of reiterate what my partners have been discussing. From the fire department standpoint, we are, although we have in 4 to 8 inches, we're actually in normal operations at this time. These are things that we prepare for. So we are prepared to answer every call. As a matter of fact, our call volume numbers are pretty much in line. It's a little bit uptick on calls for service, but not much more than we would normally see at this point. I think that's partly because that the community has been heeding to our recommendations, and those are things like staying off the roadway, making sure that you check on your neighbors, especially your vulnerable population, seniors and otherwise. Please check on them to see if they're okay. We would ask that simple as checking a smoke alarm and your carbon monoxide detector, as Dr. Stoddard talked about. To echo what Dr. Stoddard said, one of the things that could happen in this time frame is that your heating system can overheat. And so it'll overheat because it doesn't, it's able to vent like it's supposed to, not only from a carbon monoxide standpoint, but just it overheats the motor. And then that can cause a fire on the outside. And by the time you notice a fire on the outside, it can be too late as well as the response times that we're challenged with navigating the roadway. So from the fire department standpoint, we're always here to help you and support you. And if there's anything you need, there's 911 as well as MC Montgomery County 311.
Thank you, Chief Smedley. Chief Yamada, MCPD.
Yeah, thankfully, we don't have a whole lot to report out on. There's nothing significant other than the water main break that the county executive and Chief Smedley have alluded to down on Wisconsin Avenue that's being handled by fire rescue. We've offered assistance, but thankfully so far, Chief Smedley and his crew have been able to handle that on their own. Other than that, our call volume, calls for service are down a little bit, and we are fully staffed and all resources available in all of our 6 districts. So far it's just another day, although a bit snowy, a bit slippery for the police department. And I too appreciate everybody who has chosen to stay home and stay off the roads and let everybody else get them clear and keep everybody safe.
Thank you, Chief. Dr. Bridgers, HHS.
Good afternoon, and happy to join the press conference this afternoon. The Department of Health and Human Services continues to provide a virtual or physical presence in connection with the community throughout the agency and its various service areas. Our Aging and Disability Services continues to provide supplemental nutritional support to those seniors who are in need. If there are any seniors who are in need, either through our senior nutrition program or our Adult Protective Services, we ask that they contact our crisis center number at 240-777-4000. Again, 240-777-4000. Similarly, we have our Children, Youth, and Family Services still available. We have 2 staff on call to monitor any referrals for our child welfare services. Again, contact our crisis center number. Our behavioral health center has a physical presence there. Our crisis center services are operational. For our mobile crisis outreach response, they're being co-located at our Rockville Service Center. That's 1301 Picard Drive. Their crisis center number is the same. However, if there are any emergencies, as Chief Yamada and Dr. Stoddard and Chief Smedley and others have said, please contact 911 with any emergencies. I also want to remind folks that we have our 988 Lifeline phone number and text support for anyone who is experiencing any emotional, mental health, or substance use related distress at this time. Dr. Davis, our public health officer, asked me to echo some of the responses regarding planning for and or shoveling snow. Again, if you are experiencing discomfort, contact your primary care physician or dial 911. Chief Smedley talked about grills and generators, so avoid carbon monoxide poisoning. And lastly, if you're having family time outside, please remember to have fun, dress appropriately, and make those judgment calls that won't cause any further health risks to you or your family. I also, before I turn it over to Ms. Christine Hung, who is our chief of our services to end and prevent homelessness, who will talk about our hypothermia and sheltering plans, I want to thank all of the first responders and our partners at the Department of Transportation for supporting us and those in need during this weather event. Christine, I'll turn it over to you to provide an additional update from HHS.
Thank you, Dr. Bridgers. I want to also acknowledge our 6 emergency shelters. They are open during the storm, of course, and they are here to provide shelter during the storm. They are not turning anyone away in need of shelter. We also have 3 shelters for families, and we use motels for overflow sheltering as needed. In addition to that, our 4 street outreach partners have been proactively canvassing leading up to the storm all of last week, encouraging anyone who's unsheltered to come indoors. And many people have taken them up on that, which we're really happy about. But as everyone has said, the conditions are very dangerous. So we encourage everyone to come inside and appreciate the public's participation in that. If you see anyone outside, you can call our homeless information line, which is 240-907-2688, and they can be connected to one of our emergency shelters. In addition to that, we have a warming center for those who are unhoused at Progress Place in Silver Spring, which is also open at this time. So folks can come in out of the cold during the day. And we are also providing hypothermia shelter at that location as well. So a lot of work being done by the collective partnership that is working with services to end and prevent homelessness, and want to thank all of them and all of you for your concern for our unsheltered residents.
Thank you, Dr. Bridgers and Ms. Hong. MC 311 has been taking calls from county residents, and here are the top 5 calls that have been received so far. Number 1, county office is closed. Questions regarding that. 2, recycling and trash. 3, write-on application and schedule changes. 4, plowing questions. And 5, assistance clearing snow. Those are the top 5, and MC 311 will be open today until 7 p.m. Members of the media, we're going to open it up for questions. Questions only from members of the media. Please identify yourself and your organization. Raise your hands and we'll call on you. Jerónimo Mura, Univision DC, Univision DC. Jerónimo, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for the time. I was interested in asking about the water breaks. I wanted to know how many has been reported so far. Also, what are the authorities doing to improve the situation, and what assistance are they providing to the people who have been affected by the lack of water service? Thank you.
Who would like to take that question?
So I guess I'll start. So the WSSC obviously is responsible for the repairs of the water main break, and we need to obviously get the water main situation turned off on Wisconsin Avenue, and I think that's been done. But now it's a damage assessment process. There is some concern about the undermining of the roadway and the sidewalks, and we're looking to see if any of the adjacent buildings were impacted by the undermining. And so that will determine in large part how long the repairs will take for both the road, sidewalk, and adjacent space. Not to mention the pipe. Now, obviously, the piping, they can reroute water around breaks very often. And so they're doing that work right now to try and get restoration in place. We do not have an estimated time of restoration in ETR at this time. We're hoping that WSSC will be able to provide this one this afternoon so that we have a better understanding of how long people are going to be without water. Now, the issue that we are facing is I believe that some of the residents require water for their heating, which is a much more life-threatening situation in a case like this, given the extreme cold temperatures that we're facing, which is why we have our we've informed our Department of Housing and Community Affairs, Permitting Services, Health and Human Services, and Emergency Management, and they are working with the building operators to monitor their temperatures in the short term. And then as we get a better sense of the estimated time of restoration, then we'll obviously have a better sense of where we need to, move residents out to. But obviously, if this is a prolonged outage, we'll be prepared to provide water, sheltering support, and anything that the residents will need to be safe and secure during the time that the water is out. Because water is one of those situations where you need potable water in a building for it to be habitable. So that's a key thing here. So long story short, I think we're trying to get a good assessment of how long this outage is going to be, and that will dictate the amount of response that we need to provide to the residents.
Thank you, Dr. Stoddard. Any follow-up question, Mr. Mura?
No, how many water breaks has been reported? Have been reported?
I'm only aware of the one on Wisconsin Avenue. There may be other smaller ones that affect very small number of residents, but I'm not aware of any additional ones besides the large one on Wisconsin Avenue.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Members of the media, if you have any questions, please, for county officials this afternoon. Dana Mundro, the Washington Post. Good afternoon, Dana.
Hello. I had a question for Christine, probably. I wondered if you could say a little more about the warming centers, like how many there are. Are they all libraries, senior centers? How can people find the one nearest to them?
Thanks, Dana, for your question. So the warming center that is operated with CEF Partners is at Progress Place in Silver Spring, and we are focusing during the storm specifically on people who are unsheltered. And so anyone who is unsheltered can go to Progress Place and go there during the day and use it as a warming center. Shepherd's Table, our partner there, provides meals, and if they need to stay for shelter, they can also stay. So that is our focus today, specifically on people who don't have housing.
Since the buses aren't running, how do people get there that can't walk there? Are there others?
Yeah, so there are our two largest shelter providers, one of which is Interfaith Works and the other is the Montgomery County Coalition for the Homeless. They both utilize Lyft. They have Lyft accounts. And so long as they're connected with the individual through the homeless information line, then they can provide transportation to their locations. And Interfaith Works is the partner at Progress Place in Silver Spring, which I mentioned, providing the warming center space as well as hypothermia shelter there.
If I could just add, the buses are running. It's just on a reduced schedule today, so you should still be able to access those resources.
Oh, thank you. Okay, good to know. Also, unrelated question, are the courthouses all closed today?
Yes, both the district and circuit court are closed for the day.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Members of the media, any other questions, please raise your hands. No more questions this afternoon? Oh, I see.
Great.
Suzanne, good afternoon. How are you? Go ahead.
Good afternoon. Hi, I have a sort of unrelated question for Chief Yamada. Are the police involved in DC getting into security for any of there's 3 or 4 big things coming up between January 6th, Jimmy Carter's funeral, the inauguration. Are county police involved in that?
Yeah, we're involved in all those events. Today we have a small contingency down assisting Chief Manger at the U.S. Capitol. We will be assisting at a small level with the funeral, and then again for the inauguration.
Thanks.
And Suzanne, I believe Montgomery County Fire Rescue will also be assisting, but with inauguration as well. They'll have resources.
Just the inauguration?
Yes.
Okay.
Chief Smedley, is that correct?
Chief Smedley?
That's correct. Montgomery County Fire and Rescue is supporting inauguration.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Suzanne. Dana, your hand's still up. Do you have follow-up questions?
Yeah, I just had one. What was Dr. Stoddard the name of the residential building being affected by that water main break?
I don't think I have it, but I don't have it handy. I'll follow up with you, Dana.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
Thank you. Members of the media, any other questions for the county executive and or county officials this afternoon? No more questions? Going once? Twice? Well, thank you for joining us. Have a great afternoon. Stay safe out there. Mr. County Executive, would you like to say goodbye?
Yeah, I hope everybody does stay safe. It's probably not a good idea to go traveling until tomorrow. So hopefully we'll all have nice warm houses and we'll be comfortable and get back out on the road tomorrow. In the meantime, take care of yourselves.
And Dana, that was the Elm Apartments. Sorry, I got the information as I was.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great afternoon. We'll see you soon.
The winter storm right-on transit services will operate on a holiday schedule on Monday, January 6th, 2025.
Due to Purple Line construction, the following traffic signal will not be in operation: Georgia Avenue, Maryland 97, and Thayer Avenue.
Spring Street will be closed from 16th Street to 2nd Avenue for bridge repairs for several months starting June 7th.
We will continue to monitor transportation conditions throughout the day. When those conditions change, this station is updated with up-to-date transportation information to aid you in your daily commute. You are listening to the Montgomery County Transportation Management Center's Travelers Advisory Radio System, WPBJ 590 AM on the Interstate 270 corridor, WPDD 1070 AM on the US 29 corridor, and on County Cable Montgomery.
Snow is falling throughout the Montgomery County, Maryland area. Roadways are mostly wet. Major roadways are snow covered and other major roadways are wet and may be slippery. All residential streets are snow covered. Temperatures are near or below freezing and wet roadways may freeze. Please allow more space between vehicles to accommodate longer stopping distances. Remember, bridges and ramps freeze before any roadway surfaces. Crews from the Maryland State Highway Administration and the Montgomery County Division of Highway Service are monitoring roadway conditions.
Montgomery County government will be closed Monday, January 6, 2025. Code Red, Montgomery County School System and Montgomery County College closed Monday, January 6, 2025. Washington, D.C. area applies to Monday, January 6, 2025. Status: office closure. Federal offices in the Washington, D.C. area are closed. Maximum telework is in effect.
Due to the winter storm, Ride-on Transit services will operate on a holiday schedule on Monday, January 6, 2025.
Due to Purple Line construction, the following traffic signal will not be in operation: Georgia Avenue, Maryland 97, and Thayer Avenue.
Spring Street will be closed from 16th Street to 2nd Avenue for bridge repairs for several months starting June 7th.
We will continue to monitor transportation conditions throughout the day. When those conditions change, this station is updated with up-to-date transportation information to aid you in your daily commute. You are listening to the Montgomery County Transportation Management Center's Travelers Advisory Radio System, WPBJ 590 AM on the Interstate 270 corridor, WPDD 1070 AM on the US 29 corridor, and on County Cable Montgomery.
Snow is falling throughout the Montgomery County, Maryland area. Roadways are mostly wet. Major roadways are snow covered and other major roadways are wet and may be slippery. All residential streets are snow covered. Temperatures are near or below freezing and wet roadways may freeze. Please allow more space between vehicles to accommodate longer stopping distances. Remember, bridges and ramps freeze before any roadway surfaces. Crews from the Maryland State Highway Administration